Battle Scarred Motorsports provides adrenaline therapy for active duty veterans and first responders to do that via endurance auto racing. So it provides an avenue for them to get away from reality. It's hard to do nowadays. Social media is always in everybody's faces. The news is always a bummer. When men and women come here, they are a part of a family. And we provide a safe place for them to be amongst people that know what it's like to suffer, sacrifice for people you don't know. It's a great thing for them to do, to be amongst people who understand what it's like.
Hello, is this Brandon?
Yeah, it could be. Who's this?
This is Kyle Fisher at Hot Shot Secret.
Hey, what's up, dude?
I'm calling you because Hot Shots, we have this contest that we had running for a trip to join Battle Scarred Motorsports for a weekend. Unfortunately, we got a lot of submissions and we were only able to pick one. The good news is you're the one we picked.
That's awesome. You serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
My name is Brandon Wood. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I was Air Force EOD for 12 years from 2008 until 2020. I got medically retired out of EOD, a bunch of back issues, so pursued the motorsports side of things towards the tail end of that, and it just kind of rolled right into me getting out of the military, and now basically consumes my life. So obviously Hot Shots has a pretty big presence in the diesel performance community. I'm pretty well seated in that, and kind of popped up on my timeline between Kyle and a bunch of guys that I know, and decided, you know, why not give it a shot? Well, it turns out here we are.
It's very stylish the way you came down that escalator. Just got off the plane. What are your expectations of the weekend?
Kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person, so I'm not real sure at this point. I'm just kind of open for it, and we can go racing.
Showed up on Thursday night, got to the track, met up with just a handful of the guys, went into one of the trailers. Everybody's buttoned up, so we're just knocking on trailer doors, so these guys open up. And it's kind of the main crew. They're all there and hanging out in their trailer. And
How's it going, Brandon?
Brandon, Joe Mertz, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Charlie,
Brandon.
nice to meet you,
Nice to
Brandon.
meet you. As I can tell, you guys have done this before, so.
get in there and, you know, hellos and welcomes and nice to meet yous, and they're just picking up conversation. Great people, really welcoming. I didn't really sit in the back and feel like, who's this guy? Or, oh, this guy won this contest. Like, all right, what are we gonna do with him later? It was never like that. The whole weekend, every time I got around somebody, the next time I saw him was more intimate, so to speak. It was just closer. Friendships built very fast. Friday, wake up and it's test day. We're still waiting on people to trickle in, cars to trickle in. First time I'd ever done wheel-to-wheel racing. So I basically sat around nervous all day trying to figure out how I'm gonna get better at it without doing it.
Come into the apex, you don't want to track all the way out to the left because the next one is a left-hand turn, so you want to kind of stay mid-track and then you can be set up for the next one.
Okay. I think it's it.
And jump in the car, we'll go out and do some passes in the car, taking it easy, not really sure what to do, not expecting the car I was in, being a Crown Vic, to really be a car to go around a track anyway, so I was just playing it out. Got out there and did 4 or 5 laps maybe by myself, completely blind, and that was interesting. They black flagged us, brought us in, and when we did, Jake jumped in the wild boar and paced me out front when we restarted and did another 5-10 laps or so. Confidence went up a bunch, knowing where you're supposed to drive, where the turning points are and all that, so I got a lot more confidence there, felt a lot better. The car is very interesting, being the size of a house, how well it handles. I was very surprised. So that was definitely something to get used to.
Thanks, man.
What do you think?
I like it.
Good. I mean,
I don't know how slow you were going for me, but
It felt good.
That was great.
Yeah?
Did awesome.
I was very surprised at how flat this car stays.
Right.
And how well it does hold. I just don't know where I'm supposed to go in or out, and then you, especially over here, you get dicked for the next one. And I came in a couple of them, I was like, all right.
You're not coming down the front straight.
That sounds
You know, you can lift right before, you know, you'll see your brake markers coming up, 400, you'll see 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So you'll be coming up those brake markers, you can lift and just carry speed. And I'll usually grab just a little bit of brake pedal, get ready. That car, you'll probably, when you're comfortable, you can probably start coming on the brakes at like the 3 to 2.5.
So we got about 45 minutes left or so of open track today. Now go out there and get a few more laps in, a little more time on my hands, and see if I feel the same way without following someone's line, see if they kind of sank in, build up some more confidence for tomorrow. Just kind of let loose, I guess. I feel a lot better now, not having anybody to drag me. Went back out right before they shut it down and did probably another 15 laps, I guess, solo, and felt a lot better. After that last session, I went out by myself, just got to see what I'd, without following somebody's line, see if I'd retained what Jake had showed me, and I felt a lot better. Pushed the car a little harder, pushed the brakes a little harder, got it to where I got a little out of shape on some to kind of feel the limits of the car. It's very capable. I think I had 2 cars that waved me by them. So as far as I'm concerned, that's heading in the right direction. So I'm pretty confident going into tomorrow that I can at least hang with the pack and just kind of maybe pick people off and make it through, and think we'll be all right. Wake up Saturday, it started raining. I think I woke up at 6. I think it was raining since like 3 a.m. I like to see when I test my ethanol, but different, you know. Got the car ready, got the little transponders in it, checked tire pressure, all the little once-overs. Knocked our driver's meeting out. It's kind of trickling rain on and off all morning. It's still wet. These poor guys had some issues with their car running. Turns out there's a bunch of water in the gas, so they're getting theirs fixed up now. Ours is out running right now. Ladder 3's out there. He's making laps. I think we have maybe another 30-45 minutes. He'll come in and I'll jump in on that one. They said there's a cell that's supposed to come through and just dump on it. I'm kind of hoping I get mine out of the way first, but I know how my luck works, and I'll get out there and get comfortable and it'll dump. So I go out there and kind of start how I did yesterday, just slow it down and get comfortable all over again. It's a whole new surface. So.
Still wants to come around on you. All right, here we go.
And about the time I jumped in the car, it was already wet. Rain started falling, so I drove through windshield wipers my whole stint. Thank you. And it just kept getting worse and worse. There were spots on the track with standing water. There was a couple of dry lines that went away. it was very interesting to relearn how to drive. Something that I thought, oh, I have this confidence, we can actually drive this car, to now it's an ice rink out there, essentially.
Track will be good, and then you come into the turn the next time and it's not there.
Like 5 times it just cut off.
It's just cutting off.
I don't know why.
Ended up having issues with the car. Throttle body took a dump on it, so we raced at under 3,000 RPM for most of the day. It started after I got out of the car, so that was kind of nice. And it would just cut off, so they're cycling the ignition going down the track, trying to get it to come back on. And finally make all the laps. It's raining, it's coming down. The car doesn't have lights on it, it's dark out. So they had the emergency lights on the top of the car flashing for safety, which is hilarious. I guess the track officials got a kick out of that. So we bring the car in, and we'd gone down to O'Reilly's and picked up an throttle body, come back, slap it on. Well, it's dark, it's late, there's no lights on this thing, so you can't even test it. Oh, the plan is tomorrow should be dry. So tomorrow's dry. I'm excited to see kind of what kind of lap times I can put down now that I know what I put down in the wet. We should be able to really chip away at some of those. I kind of waited for a while, and I started asking people they have the app on their phone to track the times, just try to figure out where I was at. Because everybody said, oh, you did great, you did great. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you just tell everybody that. And I was actually surprised. I was very surprised. We ended up, I think I went 2:30 was my fastest lap, and that kind of, it seemed to be pretty good across the board for a wet track. So hopefully tomorrow, I'd like to see like 15 seconds off that. I don't know if that's reasonable, but we're gonna try it. And then this morning we woke up, it's dry, it's clear. The track was just damp. There's no standing water on it anymore. And I think I went in third. So we sent the first 2 guys out. So here we are, it's day 3 Sunday here at NOLA Motorsports Park. We had testing Friday, wet, rainy race yesterday. We had big puddles and standing water on the track. Had some car troubles. Throttle body actually took a dump on the car. Car's running good, it's all fixed. I really don't think there's anything wrong with it. He seems to be turning better lap times, obviously, than we were yesterday, so everything seems on the up and up there. Pending we have no issues, it should be a pretty smooth day. Track's drying out, and guys are going pretty fast out here already. Our driver right now is doing 2:17, 2:15 in there. Yesterday I was at the 2:30 mark, so I think there's a lot of ground to be made up for me personally. I think we're about to pull the driver in here in a little bit and get swapped out. I'll jump in the car and see what we can do on times and see how the car does. I jumped in it and started kind of leaning in it after a handful of laps. Way more comfortable from the day prior, and realizing the car has a lot more in it, and cleaning up my lines, and started getting to the point where I was driving the car hard enough that it just didn't have any tire left on it. They were all pretty worn out.
I think these tires about had it. They're just squealing the whole way around. You're starting to show a little tread on the front too. I say swap them. I'd like to see how the car can do. All right. I'll help.
Hey, but you know this ain't NASCAR. Like, they don't just got tires.
Yeah, they do, because I asked.
What are you doing over there?
I need tires. I don't think I can go any faster.
Do you want to know your fastest lap time?
I would like to know.
Like 2:13.
Hell yeah.
You were ripping out there.
What did we say? I said I wanted to knock off 15 seconds. We knocked off 17.
Yeah.
And I got...
And that was on the shit tires too, because that was one of your last laps. Was 2:13.
Yeah, I had a couple in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we actually pulled the car in, put rear tires on it. It seemed to be okay. It helped a lot. Went out there and I was able to push that car pretty much about as fast as I think it can be driven around the track, which is surprising to me, and it's always nice to kind of realize that, all right, I figured this out. Overall, it was a good day. The car realistically did pretty good. I was surprised, and that thing just gets zinged on the whole time. I don't know how it holds together, but it was an experience. Put the next guy in the car after that. He went around for a while. I think actually his first stint of the day, he had a BMW slam into his passenger door, caved in the rocker panel and everything, so it broke his frame, I guess. Obviously the Crown Vic didn't really care. He jumped in at the end of the day and he ended up driving the wheels off it. Tires were pretty blown on the front already, so he actually ended up driving all the way through it.
We got all the life out of them. You ain't getting any more.
No.
Money well spent.
I think they're done, bud.
I was going through before the carousel, before the straight, and it goes boom. I see a piece of black, and it's like, oh shit, and then it jerks right. I was like, damn it! At least it went off in like a decent spot. So
We want to point out that today Alex managed this, his first stint, and then just managed this on his second stint. So
first of all, that was because the BMW driver doesn't know how to use his brakes.
no, it's turn signals. We don't use turn signals.
Ah, that too.
How many scratches did you put on the car?
None. It was zero.
That's not true. You kicked out a dent.
Oh, so I made it better. Okay, sorry. I have -1 scratches.
The racing aside, that was a very small part of it. Overall, the whole crew, and they kind of had more people trickle in throughout the weekend, so you kind of got, every time you kind of got a handle on who was there. There's more guys showing up, and they were all just as tight-knit as the rest of them. Anytime there was something to be done, everybody's there to do it. They're making food, they're breakfast, lunch, dinner every day. They're cooking it right there. This experience has just been phenomenal. I came in for the racing, to be honest. That's the small part, and I was not disappointed at all. Yeah, if you get this opportunity, reach out to these guys. If you feel like you want to do it, I think you can jump in, just talk to them, get down here and do it. Now I start listing out names because there's too many and I'm on the spot. I'll forget them, and I don't want to forget anybody. More people than I can remember their name. Everybody was amazing. I almost felt worse because every time I ran into one, they knew my name, and I just couldn't remember all of theirs. And it was always just open arms. It was super cool. This kind of community is very, very hard to find anymore. The racing community has it's cool. And we have like our buddies and our little cliques, but it's not like this. I just wanted to say thank you for having me out, welcoming me back. I mean, that was, he's like, oh, you should come back. You gotta tell me. And it just flat out, all right, cool, that you're coming back out. I'll let you know in January the schedule comes out. Well, Hot Shot Secret, thank you very much for having me. I threw my hat in the ring on this contest. The fact that I won is phenomenal. I'm just super grateful for the entire opportunity. The fact that you guys allowed me to get to these guys, Kyle and Matt, you guys were just great stewards for me all weekend, and I appreciate everything. Thank you guys.